Go ahead.
Hey y'all,
Hey,
this is week 6.
week 6.
So, last time we left off, we talked about how he came home from the hospital and he was sleeping a lot, just tired. Us dealing with that and him getting back to his regular routine or even having a little bit more energy.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was real tough. That was difficult because after you go through a nervous breakdown, what's important is for you to find your rhythm. And it was really difficult for me to find my rhythm. In fact, I was working very hard to get back to what I thought was normal. But I had to embrace my new normal. And I think that's very challenging, especially when you're dealing with some very strong, powerful medication. So I came back from the hospital with this medicine, and I'm doped up, and I had to take it every day. And you know what's difficult? Taking the medication and feeling like, I don't want to take it, but I have to take it. And it's a daily thing that you have to do. I had to really get used to and adjust to the fact that I have to take this medication for the rest of my life. I had to get adjusted to the fact, no matter how uncomfortable the side effects were, that I have to do this. This is a necessary thing for me. Now, some people, as we've said before, don't have to take medication. I'm one of the people, unfortunately, that has to take it. So I take it, and when I got back from the hospital, I was trying to get that rhythm. I tried to go to work. That didn't work. And, being here with Shauna, we were talking about getting married. And, the ring was in the layaway. I'm trying
and he was still paying on it.
I was still paying.
He was paying on it. Now, we talked about, today's show is going to talk about, we're going to talk about gambling, because we can talk about gambling a long
forever.
time.
Yes.
But we're going to start talking about it today. But throughout everything, his responsibilities to me, he did. He always did. Every month he did his responsibilities, regardless if he was gambling and wasn't feeling well. He always took care of me. So, he did.
Well, I took care of the bills.
Took care of me.
I took care of my portion of the bills.
Right. But I'm talking about, regardless of you gambling.
Gambling, I took care of that.
Okay, so because we're going to talk about something today.
Wait a minute, though. That wasn't easy, though. Because before being with Shauna, it was hard for me to pay my bills. So when I got with Shauna and being in that condition, that's when I started to rehabilitate. So paying bills consistently was something new for me, because I guess I went through, see, this is the thing. When people have multiple nervous breakdowns, their brain doesn't function the way it used to. So when you go through nervous breakdowns, you kind of lose some things. Over the period of time and all those nervous breakdowns that I had over the years, I kind of lost a little functionality that I used to have. It wasn't always to the degree where I wasn't paying my bills. Eventually, over time, it evolved to that. So when I got with Shauna, I was at a place where it was hard for me to pay the bills.
But he wanted to.
I wanted to.
So the thing was, he wanted to get back on track with everything. Like He told you last time, he was in bankruptcy when we got together.
Right.
And he wanted so much, but putting it together was difficult. And I know it sounds like, I don't know if you understand that, putting everything together, just like I said about Chucky going to the doctor, going to see the therapist, doing this on a regular basis, him getting structure in his life was the first thing before he could do anything else. So structure and making sure that those basic things are done can help you figure out the rest of it.
Can you talk about the basics?
The basics part is making sure you're sleeping, making sure you're eating, making sure that you just doing the basic things, whatever that is. See, everybody's basics is different. Right. But the things that he wanted to do was go to the doctor, make sure he talked to his doctor, make sure he saw his therapist, make sure he paid his bills consistently.
Right.
That was something he wanted to get back to doing.
Right.
That he had got so thrown off for a year. How many years?
Since I've been thrown off?
Yeah.
I think I've been thrown off since really from paying bills.
Yeah.
I think probably maybe 2010.
Damn. It was that long?
I think
No,
that's what I'm saying is
Okay.
So it was pretty much, and I could remember, since we're talking about gambling. Well, I could say really I could go back to 2008 because that's when it really got bad for me in terms of gambling, because the gambling was preventing me from paying my bills.
Right.
So it really started getting really bad when I made $100,000 and I couldn't manage it. And that was around 2008 when I flipped the property. And because up until that point, I was managing bills. I was in a previous marriage. I was paying bills, just like I was doing with you. I was paying my portion of the bills, but I was still gambling. But it got really bad.
Needed a wife.
I think I needed you. Yes, I needed you. Yes.
No, I meant because like even how you were.
Oh, you saying I needed help, basically.
Yeah, because
it's true.
I didn't think of it like that.
Yes.
Because the other time you was single. I mean, you wasn't single, but you wasn't married.
I wasn't. Well, what are you saying?
I see the change from you being with your ex-wife from the time the child separated.
Right.
To you saying like that's the time that's the time frame 2010.
We left. I left. We had a divorce in 2011.
Right, but I'm saying that other time when you was, I think that was a stability.
Right. I had stability because I was married.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I still. So if we really want to ask the question, I think it goes back to 2004 because I was
going back
because. That's when no. I'm saying what I'm trying to say is I was in the military in 2004.
Right, but
I was okay then. I was paying my bills. I had my car.
But I'm saying you being married, you had a responsibility. I think in your mind, even with you gambling, when you just out here and yes, by yourself, it's different. But when you married, you have.
I got a chance to see what that difference was because the time of me being single by myself really was in 2016.
Right.
I was single for a year.
Right.
And when I was single.
But I'm saying, this is what I'm saying.
I was the worst that I ever been.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so what you're saying is right.
Yeah.
Being in a relationship helps me.
Yeah. And your mom told me that.
It's the truth.
Your mom said
I don't know what that's about.
It's support. It's support, love, and responsibility.
When I was single, I was spending all my money in one day, and I'd be broke for the rest of the month.
Right.
But when I was in a relationship, see, this is the difference. Be honest with you. If I lose all my money in one day, and you got money, I'm good because you got it. So.
But you didn't do that with me.
No, I didn't. Well. Remember when I didn't spend all my money, but I was paying my half of the bills, my portion, and then I would take the rest of it and blow it.
Right, but I'm saying you wasn't.
I wasn't spending the whole check, no.
Right, but you said you did that previously. Is what I'm saying. So relationships help you.
Yeah.
That's my whole.
Relationships help me.
Yeah, that's my whole thing about it.
But you know, I say they help me, but I did a lot of damage in the relationships because of my instability, of not being able to manage money.
Right.
It was causing a strain on a relationship because of the gambling. The gambling itself
Absolutely.
takes on a whole nother person.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yes, when I'm in a relationship, that other person, I could depend on that person because if I can't eat, and if I can't put no... When I first met you, you remember how you always tell the story like, hey, I remember I was bringing you food. You ain't had no food in your refrigerator. You have water. You didn't have no towels.
Was wrong.
You knew
you
something.
You didn't have towels. You didn't have pillows.
So I needed a helpmate.
You did.
And I think that's why the Bible says that a man that finds...
Listen. I thought something was wrong. I should have ran. You ain't had no pillows. Who don't have no pillows?
I ain't need them. Wasn't nobody sleeping in my bed. I had my Bible. This is what I was doing.
You said you had 5 women.
I was talking to 5 women, but they wasn't in my bed.
Anyway.
They wasn't.
So,
how many men you had?
Boy.
Yeah.
Stop
Let's talk about it.
So let's talk about He always trying me.
Man, please.
So we're going to talk about
everybody got a pass.
The gambling. So the gambling, my point is that he was responsible when he came. I feel like the respect that he had for me and making sure that I was good even at his state of his worst. That to me that was the worst gambling. It was really, really bad. Because he was at his lowest mentally and physically, but he would still get up and gamble. So it's time.
And I think I was doing that to cope. I think now that I really look at this gambling, I didn't really become a real addict. And I don't use the word addict because that's what I was. I didn't become an addict until I had that nervous breakdown in the military. And after that, I tried to put myself back together. So over those years, I was soothing myself. All that adrenaline that I was getting, that excitement, that good feeling, it was like a drug for me. So when I got out the hospital, I had to go back to my good feeling. I wanted to feel. Right. See, I think gambling is not about the money, it's the feeling. It was
a high. I mean, I used to watch him when we would go, and I hated. He even didn't like me going with him because he said I was.
Don't go gambling with her, please. She gonna throw off your whole.
He'd tell me I threw off his whole move, like calm down. It would just be so fast, and he's so aggressive, and it's not like little numbers that maybe I would do. He will bet thousands and just be like,
well, see, this is the problem.
No, and it's ridiculous.
I created a system.
Ain't no system to gambling. It's a gamble. System. It's not a system.
If you have the emotional capacity to handle it, you'll do well. I don't have it. I'm too aggressive. I'm not risk adverse. I'm risky.
He think he got a system. And foolishness.
And my strategy has been developed over the years. But I will say this. I did get some clarity about this. The reason why gambling is so damaging, the reason why gambling causes so many problems is because there's a pathway in your brain that gets altered. It's called the mesolimbic system, the mesolimbic pathway. It normally works. When you get a little excitement, you get a little dopamine, it travels to this part of the brain, and then it starts and cycles over again. With gambling, that process and that pathway gets broken to the point where you don't even have any more control. You don't have this part of your brain activated. Now it's just more of a, they call it the hijacking. Your brain gets hijacked, meaning that you don't have no capacity to have any rationality because that system, that circuit is broken. So that's why people can gamble for hours and hours and days and not eat and not shower, not sleep, because they get thrown off and that brain is hijacked. Your brain can literally get hijacked. So
his brain was hijacked for a long time. I used to go with him, and I used to be amazed that we was talking about his how high he got because he was so low. Remember me saying how low he was? So now he like super high. I'm like, what is this doing to you? Like, this is really something.
Confusing.
It was confusing because I couldn't believe the way he was acting. And compared to what he was just doing in the bed, he was asleep.
I was depressed.
Yeah. And so when he went there, it was just a total different.
Well, think about it. Y'all know addicts, right? You know crackheads. You know people who get high, who do cocaine and heroin. Gambling is the same thing. So you see them probably with lows and they sleeping and they just depressed. But then when it's time for them to get high, they get excited, don't they? They get excited. So because your brain wants to feel you, it's telling you, hey, you need to go ahead and get that feeling. Because one part of your brain is reminding you, the other part of your brain is getting you stimulated. And the closer and closer you get to that feeling is the more adrenaline and excitement that you're getting. So this is just your body responding to it. The only way that I was able to get help with this is learning about that process. So thank God that I got the information
He
because
did.
when I got with Shauna, in them moments, I was always going to the poker house. I was going to the casino. I was going to Vegas. And although I had good intentions,
He did.
I had a lot of
He
good
always
intentions.
messed it up though.
I always, you ever hear when they say take 10 steps
He'll do something
forward
he'll
and
do
go back
something
20?
most
That's what I
amazing.
did.
He'll do something the most amazing.
How about this? Let's tell them the story because I know we kind of jumped and
Yeah,
then
because-
talk about something. You remember when it was your birthday
Yeah.
and I surprised her. So here's a good example about me doing good and then doing bad. You know, my auntie used to always say, "How can you be so smart and so dumb?" She always told me that. It was really funny. But how about this? Her birthday coming up. I don't have any money, so what do? I get creative. Talk to one of my boys. Hey man, can you pay for me to go to Vegas? And she's going to Vegas with her friends, so let's pop up on her and let me surprise her for her birthday.
That was our first birthday. That was
That was her first birthday. So I didn't have any money.
First birthday together.
That's our first her first birthday that we were celebrating together. So I didn't have any money. So I had to get creative. I asked them. So they paid for my ticket, paid for my hotel, and I told them I'll reimburse them at a later date when I get some money. So boom, it's her birthday. We get there. I surprised Shauna. She is like, wow, this is amazing. She's so excited.
I was so excited.
She was shocked.
Because me and my girls had planned that before, but I didn't know him then. And so all this time I did want to be with him, but I was so excited. Like, he really shocked me. He met me at the airport and it was so sweet. It was the sweetest thing. Like, I was so
I acted like I was the Uber driver.
Yeah.
And I pulled up on him. But see, okay, so that sounds sweet and nice and all that, right? But guess what? The whole time I'm there, I had some money and I gambled the money, and then I got down to my last $100 and I was like, wait a minute. I just went through all these thousands. I had 100. I didn't have enough money to take her out. So this is what I did. I went to the dice table. I said, I'm gonna take this $100 and I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna take her out. So I told her, I think I called and said, hey, we're going to dinner tonight or whatever, or whatever.
Me and my girlfriends was hanging out, so
they was hanging out. So I was like, we're gonna go out. I go to this dice table. I ran the check up to $1,200. But at that last moment when I was about to quit, I got so aggressive. I said, "Ooh, I'm gonna buy her a Louis purse. I'm gonna surprise her." I said, "Let me try to get $2,500." So now listen, I started off with 100, so I got greedy, and greed is a big problem when you gamble. So I get this money, I get to 1,200, and I start going really aggressive. Put the whole 1,200 up, and I lost it. I lost it all. So I had $100 left. I kept 100. So now I felt really bad. I had so much remorse, so much shame, because I wanted to surprise her. She didn't know that I wanted to get her a purse. I didn't tell her that, but I knew that I wanted to do it. So I felt horrible that I couldn't. And then I wanted to take her out to dinner, but I couldn't. So when I told her, like, hey, I can't go to dinner, I felt horrible. So that's just an example of me doing something good and doing something bad. Now that type of behavior, I've been doing that for all these years. Even dealing with my son, dealing with him, inconsistent, dealing with his mother being inconsistent, like do good things. I might pop up with expensive gym shoes and then the next week I ain't got no money for him to come over. And then with her, I pop up on her and show her, hey, I love you, let me surprise you, but I ain't got enough money to take you out because I just gambled all my money. So these are just examples, and it really does affect your reputation. It affects your relationships. And Shauna was like, wow, like you can't even take me out? Then I tried to take her to a burger joint. Like, let's get some burgers or something. Let's go to this little spot. She was like, nah, I don't want to do that. That was my first time getting to know Shauna, that she can't really go to a regular. She can't, I'm not saying she's not down to earth, but
I wasn't going. First of all, I'm looking like
money.
And got my face done. Everything. I'm ready. It's my birthday. My birthday is big to me anyway. Always has been. So it's like it's a holiday. So, no, I'm not going to a burger joint.
Well, I didn't take no offense to it, but I was like, wow, why she can't be understanding?
And I went out with my girls.
She went out. She went out with her girls. Mm-hmm. I felt horrible.
And I was so upset with him.
I was
disappointed. I was he had brought me up high and brought me all the way back down. And I was so mad.
Yeah, I took her high and I took her low. And I think I've been taking her high and taking her low for a long time. And that was her first introduction to that. But then after that, Christmas came. I think it was hard for me to have money for Christmas. I'm not sure what I bought. Oh no, I surprised you. Yeah. Okay, now I did something good.
Yeah.
Remember, I was like,
he bought me so many dresses, and he bought the earrings.
I bought her some
everything
dresses
to match with it. It was like a lot. They was beautiful. I was so like surprised. Like he really went shopping, and he does well when he shop. He always shops for me though, but he really like did that like in detail,
but
like the way that I did it.
After that, I think I blew the rest of the money though.
Probably, Chucky. This gambling, this addiction was very serious. It was very serious. Like I said, but because the time always runs quick. But we got to talk about how you was gonna get the ring.
Okay, so the ring is in layaway. I'm making payments. And I wasn't paying as much as I was supposed to, but I was making something. I was doing it. And so I wanted to propose Valentine's Day?
Birthday.
No, my birthday. My birthday was in February. So I wanted to do it by February. So guess what? I said, I'm finna go on and get this ring out. I'm finna pay for it. I'm excited. But then guess what? Guess what happened? That gambling talk came in my head. Like, won't you just double your money first before you do that? Go hit a lick. These are the things that I would hear in my head. Like, won't you go double your money or go make you $500 or $1,000 first? Because when you spend the rest of this money, you're gonna be broke. So go try to make some first and then have some or whatever. So I was like, I'm listening to it. And that voice is really hard to resist. It's not like I heard a person. It's just my mind just telling me, giving me ideas. So here it is. I get my money. Boom. I told her, like, we're going to go out to dinner. I want you to bring your mom. We're going to go to Devon's. We're going to have a nice dinner. Then I'm proposing. This is, boom. I get my money. I gave in. Go to the boat.
And I felt that. That day,
I felt horrible about this.
It. Like, anytime that he was there and he didn't tell me, well, he'll always tell me afterwards, but if he was there and he just went, I always felt it. Like, I felt it. Like, that day I felt like something was wrong. And I would call him and he wasn't answering. And I was just like texting him. And the vibe just felt like it was off. Like, I knew something was wrong. When I say, now, man, you be like 5 months. All this has happened, and it's only 5 months in.
5 months in, man. She went through a nervous breakdown. So I get the money, go to the boat, lose it all.
All though.
So I didn't lose it all.
This time,
did I pay the?
No,
I didn't even pay my half for the rent
or
rent bills.
You didn't pay anything.
I didn't pay nothing. I just blew the whole check. I blew everything I had. And you know what? Do you know what that felt like? Man, do you know what it feels like?
I couldn't believe it because the way that he was about like making sure that I was straight before, and he just did. I was shook. I was so shocked. I was hurt.
And then before this the messed up part too. Like, I put Shauna through the fact that I told her, like, I don't even know if we should get married. Like, I don't know, man. I think this, I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with women. I'm struggling with being on my feet, being stable. And then, like we said before, being responsible. I didn't know. I didn't know how I was gonna take care of a family with a gambling addiction. That really messed my head. I couldn't see no hope. I didn't know. I just didn't know. I didn't know how I could do it. I didn't know if it was possible because I couldn't shake it. That thing is, when I tell you it's strong, that addiction, as it's been explained to me, is worse than doing drugs. Because drugs, you can only do so much and your body is shut down. Your body will not shut down on gambling. The only thing it's going to do is run out of money. But the feeling, if you had billions of dollars and you got a gambling addiction, you're going to blow $1 billion. Period. More money does not mean you'll be a better gambler.
And I always wondered, do people usually be this aggressive?
No, people are not as aggressive. Well, there are a lot of aggressive gamblers. You know, I've been gambling for a long time. I got suspended in Liberty Temple on the first day of school.
He was a
in
little boy.
7th grade for gambling. I got
It was a little
suspended.
boy.
I was a gambler. That's all I saw. People shooting dice, pitching pennies, and playing spades. That's what I saw. We are products of our environment. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I will say, once we was in this relationship, got to that point, and not being able to buy that ring when I was supposed to, and for her to tell her mom, like, hey, Mom, we're not going to have dinner, and we're not going, no proposal has happened, that made me feel horrible. But the next month...
Well, I'm not going to talk. The time is going to run out.
Oh, okay. So I guess we'll finish up on, talking about that. But listen, the fact that you cannot manage your money and have self-control. See, that used to mess with my head. I was like, how can I be like this and have all this spirituality?
Yeah.
How can you be, and I think there's a lot of people out there who have addictions and they may feel conflicted with their spirituality. Like, how can I be this man of God and I have this issue? Sometimes I used to fast and pray, and I wanted God to take it away. I used to pray, God, just take it away. If you take it away, I'm going to serve you. If you do this, I'm going to serve you. But now that I look back, God was waiting on me to do my own work.
It was so funny because later on we're going to talk about how you tried so many ways to stop before you stop. But I remember telling me, like, you know what? I'm just going to pay more stuff so I will have less money.
I did say that.
He was like, I'm just going to pay more stuff because I don't need no money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had gotten to the point where I was just like, yeah, because you blowing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember him, anything that you could think of for him wanting to stop, he would really, really, really try to stop.
Yeah.
It was all type of ideas that came up in his head and frustrations. But I'm just grateful for the point that we are today, at the level that we are today, because only God could have, with the work that he put into wanting to quit. It's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm forever grateful. But that was a lot in the first 5-6 months of our relationship.
Yes, it was.
And we was not married.
We was not.
And that was tough.
Well, I want to say thank you. For,
I can't take you serious.
Listen, I want to say
Don't
thank
talk to
you.
me. He's so full of it,
Thank
really.
you for encouraging me and being there for me and not giving up. Thank you for being a support, because I didn't have the type of support. Thank you for being a rock. Thank you for having patience, endurance, because in that time frame, when I lost my money, you found ways to make up for the money I lost.
We'll talk about that another time.
We'll talk about that another time, but that's a big key. So next week, we'll talk more about this story. You can find more information about this story also in my book, Light Switch the Bipolar Preacher, www.bipolarpreacher.com. I have 3 books out now. Also, tune in to the radio show, WVON 1690, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Mental health. Live, breathe mental health. We're trying to help you get your mind right.
God knows. We all need it.
Yes, we do. Thank y'all for listening.
Bye.